to another episode of The Crimson Fly, where you can see the process of making the animated comic. My name is SkipperWing Bird, and if you'd like a version of this video without the audio commentary, you can check out the links in the description below, or in the cards, or in the annotations when they appear on screen at the end of the video. You can find the links to download this video's music in the description below. So, in terms of story, this strip is more of an aside rather than a direct continuation of the last strip, hence the meanwhile. While I was looking over my outline, I realized that I needed certain characters to be in a certain spot later in the strip, and that going by the outline, I hadn't dedicated any on-screen time to setting up that particular plot point. Sure, I could skip this setup and leave the audience to infer, but I like to cover my bases and make sure that the story makes sense at a glance rather than having answers puzzled out to cover my laziness. And so, this week's strip was born. In terms of actual plot, while the main goal was to get the older brother character to the factory for the climax, a secondary side effect was slightly fleshing out this story's old man. There sure seems to be a lot of old men in The Crimson Fly, huh? Part of that is in the composition. Notice his green/yellow tinting compared to the older sibling's blue. And part of that is in the dialogue, specifically alluding to illegal work and being in collusion with a hidden party of some sort. Who is he colluding with? You'll have to read to find out. What's his goal with the illegal work? Well, I admittedly have no idea, but I wanted to put the idea in your head now while I figure out all the little details. Hopefully, it'll be an awesome payoff. Admittedly, the dialogue's a little clunky though, and hopefully that'll keep getting better with time. In terms of technique, this strip is pretty bog standard, especially since, for the upteenth time, there's no real need for crazy dedicated animation. There's not much to say with regards to composition, though it is interesting to note that the big brother character moves from the front of the panel to the back as the dialogue continues. There's not much meaning to it really, just a happy accident as the character's location within the story changes. I also used silhouettes in panel 2 to indicate the relationship of the two characters in a neutral setting, and what's more neutral than profile silhouettes? There are also some other things I can play with, such as using the color to suggest mood and personality. You can see it in how the scene slowly shifts from a cool blue to a shifty yellow, and how, when the old man is still quote-unquote trustworthy, most of his tint is green, a mix of the calm blue and the sneaky yellow, but only after everyone's back is turned does it become fully yellow, indicating that things are starting to shift. In regards to animation, like most dialogue strips, there's not really much to say in terms of character animation. However, one of the things I did play with is the dialogue, specifically integrating it in an interactive reveal rather than having it play automatically. That being said, the dialogue at the beginning does actually play automatically, and that's since there's not enough of a change in plot/information distribution to justify making it interactive. On the random side, I toyed with making the gang running into animated cycles, but that was too much work by the time I got to that point, so I left it too. I also played with making them pure silhouettes, but that was too hard to read, so I kept them as defined lines, albeit white-filled, to desaturate them from the background. And that's it for today's strip. Please, if you like what you saw, please subscribe and turn on notifications to keep seeing these videos. Also, don't forget to check out this video in its original interactive format. This is SkipperWing Bird signing out, and I'll catch you peeps later.